Welcome to episode 329 of the show. Today's episode is just going to be a public service announcement. I've noticed from my feed on Instagram and where else? Instagram and I think LinkedIn have seen lots of publicity, ads, stuff going out about content generation, webinars, seminars, and stuff like that. And so this is a public service announcement. Basically, it's a caveat emptor. Buyer beware. There are lots of you who are going to try and latch onto this growing trend of people out there saying, come and sign up for my course and do this around content creation. And there are lots of you that are going to want to jump at that opportunity. And in fact, I'd advise that you should do that, because content generation, to keep your name out there, to keep yourself top of mind, that's the name of the game, especially if you can use that to drive, what's the word? Not paid, the opposite of paid engagement, organic. Yeah, if you can use that to generate some organic publicity and some organic results, then by all means, you should do that. And in fact, you would be suspicious if I said you shouldn't, because I am someone who happens to use those sorts of strategies to keep my name out there. That's with the podcast recordings 3 or 4 times a week, and also with the videos that I put out on Instagram, also about 3 or 4 times a week. So yes, content creation, the content strategy, content marketing, whatever it is that you want to call it, is a good and a viable way for building your business. So, but the caveat, the warning that I'd like to put is, number one, let's not get our hopes up too high. Content is not a quick fix. Content is always long term. So don't assume that you're going to sign up for these webinars, for these seminars, and then you're going to start putting stuff out now in March of 2021, and then in June of 2021, you're going to start getting business. It is possible, and that has happened to some people, but that is not how it works for most people. So typically, content creation is a long-term play. So that's number one. So don't assume that you're going to spend, however much, 5K, 10, 15, 40, however much you pay, and you're going to get the return next month or, next 2 or 3 months. In fact, if you don't get the returns back in a year, just chalk it up to that just being part of the process. And now, the second caveat is that I noticed that a number of people who are putting out these seminars and stuff like that are really, really good at latching on to, what's hot. What's that thing called? TikTok. Yeah, like TikTok. Yeah, I have a TikTok account, but I think I only put up a couple of videos, maybe 4 or 5 videos, and that must have been like 5 years ago when I first discovered TikTok. So anyway, a lot of these people that are putting out these courses are very good at creating those kind of content, creative, really creative and entertaining stuff. And so that's the second caveat that I want to put out there. Let's not just think that because that is the one that gains the most amount of traction these days, that is the way that everybody should go. So yes, for those of us who are putting out... Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about the break in transmission. And this is rather interesting. This is the second time that I have been interrupted during a podcast recording. The first time was at yesterday's recording, where I had to take a break to attend to some workmen who are trying to rewire the house and get us unplugged from the transformer and have us wired the proper way, like most other houses, to the mains on the street. And so that's why yesterday's episode was cut and paste, 2 audio files lumped together. In case you noticed the difference in case you noticed the visible break. And the same thing happened today because I set an alarm. I forgot, and the alarm went off, and then that tripped off the recording. And so this one is also going to be a cut and paste episode as well. So sorry about the jarring experience in your headphones if the audio quality and the audio volume on one take was lower than the other. So that's the reason why. So now back to what I was saying. I had given the first caveat emptor, the first warning, that let's not expect immediate returns, because content marketing, content strategy, content creation is a long-term play. So don't expect to drop money on day one. And to see money coming in on day 50 or day 100. You have to think in longer terms than that. How long should you be thinking? I don't know, because this is not my expertise. So if you happen to pay for any of those seminars, it's something that you should ask your instructor so that they can put you through, give you the right expectation, and give you the long-term play about how this is supposed to roll out. Now, the second warning that I wanted to give before our recording was interrupted was the fact that a lot of these people who are creating these seminars now, well, at least the ones I'm seeing, they seem to be very good at TikTok and all this entertaining content, reels, and then things like that. But let's be aware that not all of us have to engage in those sorts of things. Some of us don't have the temperament for it. For instance, I'm not a very good dancer, and I doubt that if I tried dancing on TikTok or making those music infomercials, that you guys would find them entertaining. I'm a big dude with two left feet, so I doubt I can do those sorts of things very well. So, if you're going to learn from these people, just remember that there are two avenues, two streams. Yeah, there are two big streams for now. Anyway, when it comes to content generation, maybe things might change in the future. You have the entertainment track where people are doing all these things. What is the newest meme? What is the newest challenge? What is the newest dance? What is the newest craze? And they jump on all these things, and they're able to use that to garner attention for themselves and for their businesses, and they get good results out of that. So that is entertainment. Then the second stream is education. Then you have folks like me who are trying to put out business content, whether with the videos or with the podcast or with the blog. So those are the two main streams for now. So you need to think hard and fast about where you fit in, or which of them comes most naturally to you and which you would like to explore. Are you thinking education? Are you thinking entertainment or education? Now, if you're thinking entertainment, I think that's the reason why those seminars will come in handy, because I think it's really going to be hard to, or for me anyway, since I'm not the creative type, in quote, when you come to those sorts of things. I stopped drawing a long time ago. Yes, I'm still into photography, and of course I'm creating these podcasts, so I am creative, but not creative in that sense. So I guess you would need those seminars if you're taking things the entertainment route, because it's hard to come up with new dances every day, every week, every month, or whatever the cadence is going to be, or to try and figure out what is hot, what is not, what you should be riding on, and what you should be ignoring when it comes to creating those that kind of content. But if you're going to go the education route, and you find somebody who is going to go the education route, putting out content to try and promote yourself as a thought leader and things like that in your space, then I guess you don't really need creativity like that. What you need really is just discipline. You need to come up with a content calendar, and you need the discipline to be able to sit down to do your thing every day. So if it's going to be a podcast episode, are you recording every day? Are you recording every 2 days? If it's going to be a blog, are you posting every day? Are you posting every 2 days? And if you're going to keep to your schedule, then having the content calendar is absolutely imperative. Because if you're going to wake up every day thinking, what do I record today? What do I write today? What do I post today? And that's going to be a problem. But if you have a content calendar like I do, and I don't keep mine is not really fancy. It's just questions jotted down on a sheet of paper, and then I wake up every day and answer the next questions. So if you do it like I do, and you have the questions on a sheet of paper, and all you have to do is wake up today, and what question did I answer yesterday? What question am I going to answer today? How do the two relate? And then that's it. That's your blog post, or that is your podcast recording, or whatever piece of educational content that you want to put out for the day. So, so that's it pretty much. Yes, these seminars seem to be becoming popular. So if you want to sign up for one, in fact, I would recommend that you sign up for one. I don't offer any of them. And whenever people reach out to me because they want to start a podcast and stuff like that, that is not part of my professional offering. So I do not advise professionally on that. But of course, I do give my own opinions and helpful resources and try to hold people's hands as they walk through it, as some of you would have noticed with my number one student so far. A friend of mine who wanted to start a podcast, who actually did end up starting a podcast on the African Free Trade Continental Treaty. Yes, some of you might say that is dry. Who would want to listen to a podcast about that? But my advice to her was, you know what? This sounds exciting. Go for it. And I knew it was going to be exciting, not just because my professional background was in law, but because I know that when you have a niche interest, there are other people who also have that interest as well. And for people who it's their thing, they're really into it. And for people who it's not their thing, they can't be bothered. So, a podcast on the African Free Trade Continental Treaty. Are you going to listen to it, dear listener? You probably won't. But someone like me who has a legal background and other people who have legal backgrounds, they're going to be like, oh, this is amazing. Tell me more. Sign me up. And that is actually what has happened to her podcast, because she has grown a lot faster than this podcast seems to be going. And that's because she has a well targeted niche and a well targeted audience. So you're trying to start up a podcast or anything like that? Yeah, reach out. I'll help out the best way that I can. Attend these seminars on content creation. That's really cool, but do not expect magic. Don't start producing content this week and assume you're going to make money next week or next month. And then remember, it's going to be either education or entertainment. So who are you signing up with? Are you signing up with one of these entertainment gurus who's going to be talking to you about Snapchat and dancing and challenges and stuff like that? And does that relate to your business? I mean, if you sell shoes on Instagram, I guess entertainment can be the route, because with my limited creativity, I don't see how you can use education and thought leadership to sell shoes on Instagram. I don't know. And I might be wrong. If you have a different idea, then let me know. So maybe if you sell shoes and bags on Instagram, then maybe entertainment might be the route for you. But for those of us who are wedding planners and photographers, dancing challenges, TikTok, is that going to help? I don't know. I'm learning in this space and watching just like you guys are. So let's see how things evolve. So just be mindful of that. Are you going to do education? Are you going to do entertainment? And if you're thinking more education, then bear that in mind if you're signing up for a course and this person looks like more of the entertainment type. So that's it pretty much. Let's bring this episode to a close. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Thanks for your time and attention. Remember to subscribe so that the next episode is downloaded directly to your phone, or if you don't have the auto download thing enabled, you get the notification that a new episode is available. And remember to share with your friends, family, and associates so that they can learn the goodness. And also remember to share with your enemies as well, because you're a nice guy or you're a nice girl, and that's what you do. You help your enemies succeed. And apart from that, because if your enemies and your competitors get really good at what it is that they do, we are going to stop selling on price, and we're going to have to stop giving discounts all the time. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. I'll catch you at the next recording.